Hello, welcome to Aspire to Soar. My name's Kerry and today we are going to be tapping on perimenopause and all of the symptoms surrounding that. Just before we get going, I do want to say welcome if you are new to the channel. Please do hit the subscribe button just down below and turn the little bell notification on, and then you'll get notifications when we do new videos. Today we're going to talk about perimenopause. Now, this is something that occurs for most women between the ages of sort of 40 to 60, and it comes with a whole host of symptoms, anything from hot flushes, night sweats, headaches, dizziness, weight gain, and then there's emotional problems such as memory loss, brain fog, depression, anxiety, all of these symptoms. Now, you could get hit with the whole boatload of them, or some people just really struggle with one symptom in particular. Now, it becomes difficult when we're going through this period of our life as women because society as general, the society that we live in, don't really want to talk about it. Anything to do with a woman's reproductive system is generally labelled as women's problems, and nobody wants to talk to us about it. So it can start to feel quite lonely and isolating, which really does help to compound all the symptoms that we're already feeling. So what I want to do today is to tap through how we might be feeling at the moment, and then maybe put a positive affirmation tapping on the end to try and tell our bodies how we're going to look after it going forward, and what we're going to do to encourage a good relationship with our body. Okay, so before we get going, I do just want to say that when the things are related to your emotions, there can be a lot of triggers there. So what I do want you to do is to try and think about what does trigger these problems. So if you get a hot flush, is there something in particular that triggers that hot flush for you? And some of the main ones are alcohol, sugar, smoking, and caffeine. They can be big triggers. So it's worthwhile just paying attention to your body over the next week or so and seeing if there is anything in particular that triggers you into any of the symptoms, because for most women that I've spoke to, there is always something that does cause that trigger point. So that's worth keeping an eye on. And also, I would encourage you to take a look in general at your emotional history, anything that's ever gone on in your whole life, because when these hormones are flowing through our bodies, they can really bring up old emotional hurt, trauma, and pain that we have not dealt with, that we've hidden away. And if we don't deal with them, they can increase the intensity of these symptoms that we feel. So it's worthwhile trying to think if there's things that you haven't dealt with in your life, if they could be dealt with now, and if you could be brave enough to face them. Now, there are lots of videos on my channel to cover a multitude of things that might be causing your emotional pain, or you might prefer to actually work one-on-one with a practitioner to delve into your history to try and understand what exactly is going on, and I would always recommend that. But today we're going to keep things quite general. We're going to just tap on how we feel and how it makes us feel inside. I would say do keep a note if your subconscious throws anything at you while you're tapping, any old memories come up or anything does come up, do keep a note, because that's really important to go back to and to tap on individually. Okay. So before we get started, I do want to say, if you're really feeling some symptoms now, and that's why you're watching this video, I'd like you to measure them. So imagine you've got this scale of 0 to 10, and 0 is no symptoms at all. I don't feel it, but you know, something might happen at some point. Or 10 is I have got every symptom and my body is throwing the whole lot at me and it's the worst it could possibly ever be. Where do you fall on that scale? Where are you on that scale? And just have that number in your head. Are you a 4, a 6, an 8? Where are you? And keep that number in your mind, and we'll come back to it after we finish tapping. Okay, so if you've never tapped with me before, all you need to do is do what I do and say what I say. So I'll show you where to tap, and you just mirror me and you just repeat everything that I say. Now, because I am keeping it quite general, if there is something that's really bothering you in particular, then please do put that in there as we go along, and I'll try and leave some little spaces for you to add in anything that you want to. Okay, let's get started then. So we're going to start on the side of our hand here of what's known as the karate chop point, and we're going to lightly tap with the fingers of the other hand. Okay, and we're going to say, even though I have all of these symptoms, because of the changes that are happening in my body, and they make me feel so uncomfortable. And it can feel so lonely because nobody understands how I feel. I feel like my body is turning against me because of these symptoms that I am struggling with. I am not in control. My hormones are running my body. And it is so uncomfortable. But I still choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself. Even though these hormones, they are running riot. I feel so out of control. My body has got a mind of its own, and it is throwing these symptoms at me. Adding any symptoms if there is something. And nobody understands how I feel. I feel so alone and so uncomfortable in my own skin. Sometimes I just don't even like being me anymore because I don't know who I am. But I still choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself, even though I have all these symptoms because of these changes that my body is going through. And they feel so uncomfortable. And nobody really understands. And I feel so alone. And even my own body is against me. It's turned on me. I don't even know it anymore. I am just not in control. And I don't like it. I hate feeling this way in my own skin. But I choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself. Okay, we're going to go to the top of our head. These symptoms, these perimenopause symptoms, side of your eyebrow, these changes in my body, side of your eye, I feel so uncomfortable. Under your eye, nobody really understands how I feel. Under your nose, I feel so alone. In the middle of your chin, I wish somebody could understand. I am not in control. My body is turning against me. All of these symptoms, so just under your collarbone, about an inch, all of these symptoms, all of these perimenopause symptoms, my hormones, they're running riot in my body. I am not in control. And I don't like it. I don't know who I am anymore. Sit just under your arm, back to the top of your head. I don't like feeling this way. I don't like all these symptoms. Back to your eyebrow. I just feel so uncomfortable. And I can't control it. Side of your eye. It can be really embarrassing sometimes when I'm in front of other people. Under your eye. And I can't talk about what's wrong. And it feels so alone. I hate feeling this alone. I hate feeling this uncomfortable. I hate that my hormones are in control. This body, I can't control it anymore. I don't like it. It's so uncomfortable. My hormones are just running riot from all of these perimenopause symptoms that are affecting me right now. Okay, now what I want you to do is to take a deep breath in. We're going to breathe in for the count of 5 and then blow it away. So in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then really blow it away for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now what I want to do is to move into another round of tapping. Now in this round of tapping, we're going to be more positive about how we're feeling and how we can see our future unraveling in front of us. Before we do, if you did rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, just check in with that now. Where are you on that scale? Has it come down? So if you're an 8, could it be a 6 now or a 5? Or maybe it's gone up. Maybe there's something that's come to mind that you need to deal with. Or is it just the same? It's worthwhile just keeping a check on that, because it does help just for you to know that what you're doing is working and it's making you feel better. Okay, so let's go into our second round of tapping. So we're going to start back on our karate chop point again. And we're going to say, even though my body is going through this perimenopause process, and there are all these changes, this is a natural part of being a woman. And I have nothing to fear from this. I choose to know that being a woman is about much more than my physiology. I am a creative, nurturing, strong, intuitive person with a zest for life. And my physiology can't change that. And I choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself, even though I've had all of these symptoms. I can choose to give myself some self-care. I can choose to listen to myself, to my body. I can choose not to be a victim of my body. I can choose to take control. I can choose to investigate what my triggers might be for these symptoms. I can choose to deal with my emotional past. These are all choices that I can make. But most of all, I choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself. One more time. Even though I know that this process is a natural part of the cycle of being a woman. And that I can choose to use this time to really tune in and listen to my body and what it's saying to me. Is there something that's triggering this? I can choose to find out. I can choose to deal with my emotional past and let go of all of the old hurts and traumas that I have suffered. I can do that. I can choose that. But most of all, I choose to completely and deeply forgive and accept myself. And back to the top of our heads. I am a woman. And part of being a woman is this cycle of my life. This natural cycle. I can choose to know that I am much more than just my physiology. I am a creative being, nurturing, loving, caring person with a zest for life. I am much more than just this cycle. And I can choose to know that. And I can make these choices whenever I want, over and over again. I can choose to give myself some love, to take the time to care for me. I can invest time in my body. I can listen to my body. Okay. I can deal with my triggers. I can know what they are. I can deal with my old emotional hurts and traumas to relieve my body of this burden that it carries around. I can choose to heal my past. I can choose to let it go. I can use this time to create my future by letting go of all emotional trauma. I can invest this time in self-love. I can invest this time in self-care. I can listen to my body. These are all my choices. I can choose these choices anytime I want. And I might not get it right every time, but there'll always be another moment when I can get it right. And I'm excited for this new part of my life. I am excited to use this time to create my future and to let go of the past and to release my body from any burdens it has been carrying. I am a woman. This cycle is natural, but I can be in control and I can listen to my body and what it needs me to do. And I can use this time to create my future. Okay, let's take another deep breath in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then really blow it away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And so if you were assessing on the scale, do check in again now with your scale and find out where you are. If you've really not moved very much, it may be that you need to focus in on specific issues for you. So if hot flushes is a real specific thing for you, maybe a short tapping round, just dealing with the hot flushes. And as I said at the beginning, if anything has come up in your mind while you've been tapping, no matter how big or how small it seems, please do go back and tap on that as well, just to relieve that part, because if your subconscious has thrown it up, it's there for a reason and it needs to be dealt with. But I hope you've enjoyed that today. I hope you're feeling lighter. Please do leave me a comment below to let me know how you feel after that tapping session, and I will see you soon. Bye.